Good morning, part 2. Yeah, there was a lot of feedback there, Royce.
There's feedback now?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, welcome to SanAntonio FC Fancast 2.0 show today. The preview with against SanAntonio FC versus El Paso Locomotive in the Copatejas first match for USL. Royce is kind enough to join me. Welcome, Royce.
What's going on? Is there really a lot of feedback right now? This is, by the way, a peek behind the curtain. First time I'm using this setup. So, how bad is it?
It just sounds bad when you go on and off. It's like now it's not so bad, but when you come off mute and stuff, it
Really?
definitely
Okay.
so.
That's tough.
So, how have you been? I've been told we've been away for 2 months. I said 4, 5, 6 weeks, and they're like, no, it was 2 months. So, how have you been in 2 months?
Yeah, it doesn't really feel that long, does it? We've been all right. I mean, as you kind of covered in the previous episode, we've all kind of gone through our own things. We've all been busy with family stuff. It's been a crazy summer. It really has since school ended. It's just been wild. We haven't had a lot of extra time. I know, unfortunately, you've had some health things happen in your family, my family. I mean, we've been sick.
On and
Right?
off, yeah.
Yeah. My kid keeps coming home with new colds from whatever camp or daycare he's at. And then I've gone on a couple trips, unfortunately, so I've been out of town. It's just been It's been a wild summer. It's been unprecedented, and if you're listening, thanks for sticking around. I know we didn't exactly stick to the schedule that we had intended to this season, but life kind of happened, and we're, I guess, halfway through the season, and we're really going to try to make a push for the second half to be a lot more consistent than we were.
Gonna try. That's the key thing. I have already kind of set the expectation that I might become a little bit more in the background as well. For it here, just like I said here, I know Royce wants to kind of keep the shows 30 to 45 minutes, as opposed to the hour plus that I like. So, I think how to accomplish that is less people. There's more background now. Whatever you did.
There's more.
Oh, never mind. You went off mute. So I think the issue is you getting off mute.
Okay.
Changes things here. But
interesting.
We're here to talk about SanAntonio versus El Paso. Anything that you wanted to talk about SanAntonio FC wise before we get into the game?
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of El Paso. Interesting fact: they haven't played a game since June 21st. They'll be 13 days separated from their last match, which was a 2-1 win at Monterey Bay. So they'll be plenty rested. Hopefully they'll be rusty, but they'll definitely be rested. This entire season, they've run with the same 4-3-3, just about. Wilmer Cabrera, former RGVFC coach, is still the coach at El Paso, and he's been very consistent with his 4-3-3.
Possession based.
Yeah, definitely possession based, and they really try to break down low blocks, which that's what they've really been successful at. They haven't been successful at other pressing teams, but they've definitely broken down some lower block teams like Monterey and a few others that they have their wins from. But a couple notes just about El Paso real quick. They are in second place in the table. They're only 2 points ahead of SanAntonio, but they are two places ahead of us as well. And SanAntonio leads the all-time series with El Paso at a 4.54 4-5-4 record, but El Paso has not beat San Antonio in El Paso since 2021. So that's been, I guess, nearly 4 complete seasons since that's happened. And then just a couple players to watch. Obviously, Armando Moreno, El Paso's best player, who I believe they got from New Mexico, correct?
Yeah, New Mexico United, yes.
He's definitely their most talented forward, their talisman. Midfielder Gabby Torres really provides correct. really getting players from rival teams, which is interesting. But he's kind of their how do you put it? Jack of all trades. He leads their team in interceptions, and I believe he leads their team in assists as well. So, pretty versatile player there in the midfield, really providing service, but also gaining possession for El Paso. And that's pretty much I have on El Paso. Perry, you got anything?
Yeah, so looking at the numbers here, they've scored 23 goals. We've scored 20. They've got 62 shots on target. We got 58. Their accuracy is about 44.6. Ours is about 45.3. They do have 18 assists. We only have 12. The big difference that I see is goals conceded. Each team's 20, but we have 5 clean sheets. They have 2. Let's keep in mind we've lost a couple of big games by several goals, so that kind of inflates. Charleston is kind of a big one where we lost 4-0 for that here. So I think defensively, I think we might have a slight edge with that here. Shots faced 54-55. Tackles 151 to 128. To me, the big thing that really comes through, and we've kind of talked about this, and Bluish Moon and Jonathan Shuck pointed this out in his article that El Paso ranks 5th with 6,033 attempted passes and 4th with the accuracy of 83.4, with an average of 53% in possession. But to me, just the number of passes that they do have, the crossings for that here, and then this is the one that whenever it's El Paso, San Antonio, the referee does play a part. San Antonio, historically commits fouls. We've got 209. They've got 175. They've won 249 fouls, which is the RGV flop flop history for that here. So let's just be honest. San Antonio, amazingly, has been fouled more than they have conceded fouls. We do have 41 yellow cards. They got 34 in each with 2 red cards. One interesting fact. I saw on FOTMob that SAFC has given up, I think it was more, let me see here, what did they say here? They don't see it here. Never mind. I thought that they talked about the penalties that San Antonio had given up.
Gotcha.
For that here. So, but to me, we saw this in preseason. Where San Antonio, in my opinion, bossed around El Paso United. Now it's preseason, so take it what it is.
Grain of salt, right?
But they did open up El Paso, especially early in the first half. I forget who the goal scorers were, but there were some clear chances that San Antonio took advantage of on the counter and the pressing. So it'll be interesting to see what the teams have grown for. It is an 8:00 kickoff, so right before you go out and shoot fireworks here on ESPN Plus. It should be a fun game. Copatejas, I believe Steve and Danielle are already over there. I do know that the Czechs are, and I think others were going. I was thinking about going, but just unfortunately couldn't make it for that here. But your thoughts on SanAntonio going into it? I know we kind of talked about El Paso, but what about SanAntonio?
I mean, we're going into it. So real quick, SAFC won 2-1 on February 22nd. In the preseason match you were talking about, and the goal scorers on that were Diogo Pacheco, who's been unfortunately unavailable due to injury, and Jake LaCava.
And Jake, we trust.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, got that game-winning goal in the Jägermeister Cup. Let me see. And then El Paso's previous 5 matches. So we went over the 2-1 win on June 21st that they had at Monterrey. They also lost 3-0 to OC. They had a 0-0 draw with the Oakland Roots. Lost 1-0 to the Switchbacks and defeated Las Vegas Lights 2-1. So in their last 5, they are 2-1-2. So not great form, and also they're, like I said, coming off of a 13-day break. So we'll see what form they bring. SAFC, on the other hand, coming in trying to get into form for sure. They're looking a little better as of recently. Obviously, with the 1-0 win in the last match against Omaha at home. They also had a 2-0 win against Colorado Springs, also in the Jägermeister Cup. Before that, unfortunately, the loss to New Mexico with the red card for the double yellow on Paredes, which not great.
Over to this game.
I was about to say, by the way, which means he's suspended for this match because this is the next USL Championship match. So Paredes will not be available. And then before that, Sacramento and SAFC drew 0-0, and then
good point. It's a good point on the road.
Yeah, exactly. And then SAFC defeated Las Vegas Lights 3-0. So SAFC's coming in. I mean, it's not league games, but it's just the last games played. They are 3-1-1. So coming into a pretty nice stretch of form. On the field as well, they've looked a lot better, a lot more cohesive. So we'll see if we continue to bring that, and if Yamosa can continue getting that form in the team. It is going to be a little difficult with Paredes suspended just because of the dynamism that he brings to the field.
The speed.
Exactly. So we'll see where we get that back. We'll see if Jorge Hernandez is available, which he's been injured the last few matches and unavailable for selection, as well. Diogo Pacheco, which has been a big miss for us. And Paredes has really taken over for that. And unfortunately, like I said, he's not available, but we will see about the other two if they're available or not. This might be obvious. I really do think, obviously barring injury, we haven't seen the availability report yet. But obviously we are expecting Jake LaCava to start up top, and we'll see who his strike partner is, because in the last match, in the Jägermeister matches, in the previous Jägermeister match, it was Paredes starting up top with him. So we'll see who ends up taking that spot.
Not a lot of options.
No,
really isn't.
No, and what'll be interesting, obviously, it's cup matches. Yamosa's really been giving the goalkeeper position to the kids. So Namani has a start or two, and then in the last match, Batrowny got the start. I expect 100% Richard Sanchez to be between the pipes, but there is kind of a three-headed monster kind of showing themselves.
Who is number 2?
Which is great. You love to see that competition, especially for that position. You love to see that inter-squad competition just to push each other, just to be better. And like you said, SFC has 5 clean sheets on the season. goalkeeping really hasn't been an issue. And I know coming into this season, a lot of people, including some of my co-hosts, have said that the goalkeeping position is going to be an issue. I don't think the issue has been the complete other side of the field this season. So we'll see if we can catch fire, catch form in this match and in the matches preceding.
Yeah, to me, like I said here, I know SanAntonio's brought in 2 defenders recently, in Harvey Neville and Abdi Silim. They've got to bring in another forward. For that here, just the depth up top is very, very thin. The speed up top is, especially without Tejas, it's non-existent. Because you figure Agadello's got to get quite a few more minutes for it here. I'm just trying to. I don't even know who they put up there at this point. For I guess along the line, but should be an interesting match. Any final thoughts or anything else you want to go over before we get you out?
No. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Everybody be safe celebrating this weekend, and hopefully we get to celebrate with fireworks for a SAFC away win in El Paso.
And if you have pets, please bring them in, especially dogs. Fireworks are not very kind to dogs. For that here, be safe. There is rain in the area, especially if you're going to be up Guadalupe River area. Roy sent me a message saying that there's flooding or
thoughts go out to people that live along the Guadalupe River in Kerr County, because they got 6+ inches per hour last night. So they have some pretty major flooding over there. So hopefully everybody's okay and everybody gets out all right and no worse for the wear.
And like I said here, as I mentioned earlier, thank you to Rafa, thank you to Matt, thank you to Stuart, thank you to Jason, obviously thank you to Royce for all that you do for us here. And like I said here, we'll be back. I would like to say we'll be back Sunday, but with it being the Gold Cup final and it's USA versus Mexico, and in our group, just like here most in San Antonio, it is a very split on who we are rooting for. So, I got my American Outlaw shirt on for it here today as well. So, but if you go to Rafa, he's probably got his Pancho Villa stuff, and Matt, depends on who's buying beers as far as which team Matt's supporting. For that here, Robert. I think Robert's going over. I think he mentioned
he said he bought tickets. Which can we talk about that real quick? The price of tickets. The price of tickets.
10 minutes. So yeah, 10 minutes.
The price of. Well, I'm not going to take the whole 10 minutes, but what are we doing? What are we doing? I know CONCACAF sets the prices, which is an issue, but I looked up prices. So normally, I mean, if you have the American Outlaw shirt, I'm a part of the American Outlaws, or a member, I guess. Normally, tickets for U.S. M&T games that I've paid for, the most expensive one was $60, and they're normally around $40. That's normally the price of an American Outlaws ticket. The price for American Outlaws ticket for the Gold Cup final there in Houston, which it's not really a number one lineup for us, a lot of things, but still, $120. Double the price of a normal American Outlaws ticket. Plus, the nosebleeds. Nosebleeds tickets are still on sale. They haven't completely sold out NRG just because they're, it's a 80, 90,000 seat stadium. Nosebleeds are $150, $150 plus. That's not including fees. Wild. And anything near the lower bowl, you're looking at $450, $500. What are we doing? That is more than a season ticket at SanAntonio FC. If I were to take my entire family to go to this match and we were to sit in like the 200 section, not even lower bowl, that's more than the cost of my season tickets at SanAntonio FC, which, by the way, kudos on the other side of that. Kudos to SanAntonio FC for giving a really good product. And for families to be able to afford to go, which is great. It's awesome but at the same rate, CONCACAF, get it together, man. What are we doing? And then I'm sure FIFA is gonna
Dude, the
look
World
at
Cup
those.
tickets are
Yeah, that's what I
gonna
mean.
be.
FIFA's gonna look at those prices and be like, people are willing to pay that in the U.S. Double that. So yeah, we need to get together. It shouldn't be this expensive, especially with the cost of living these days, and it's only going to go up after yesterday. So tough time for us. But anyway, thanks for sticking around, everybody. Appreciate you listening. And we'll try to get it together, huh? We'll try to get it together to be in your ears at least once a week. So
Try is the key word.
correct. What's live?